What is happening? What is happening? What did I just hear the orange man said? From they are taking black jobs to what? The orange man wants to. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but the orange man wants to. He wants to recruit farmers. He wants to bring back immigrants that are literally farming. You know, they thought that the moment those farmers were sent out of America, black Americans are going to take over the job. I'm going to be playing it in this clip, not like I'm the one that is saying it. The orange man said it that most of those immigrants were taking black people's job. So who are the black people? Okay, black Americans are supposed to be in the field. Oh, sorry, I forgot they have histories with cottons. We're picking cottons in the plantations. So black Americans decided that they are not going to even respond or even dare. In fact, I love when I see a lot of black Americans saying if that was literally the last job to do, they better remain jobless. I love it. I respect that to the highest. Right now, he has sat. He has think about every single thing that has happened with his administration that honestly, ever since the orange man started, nothing good has come out of this administration. Now he said he wants to bring back farmers. And it's not only bringing them, he will bring them and give them citizenship. Anyways, so that it will not be like you're hearing it from my mouth. Let me go ahead and roll out the clip for you guys. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. And credits belong to the original creators of every single clips and stitches I have in my today's episode. And I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. With that being said, let's roll out the clip. I'll be back with commentaries.
They're taking black jobs.
Hey man, did Trump say the black jobs? The black, they taking the black, who is they? They, hey they, can I get an application? Who, I need to get hired on with the black jobs. Where the black, how much they paying for the black jobs? I never heard of them. Nobody, y'all black people ain't told nobody about the black jobs. Man, God, what's wrong with y'all black people? There are black jobs out there that they taking. The black jobs. Let me know. Hello? Hello? Anybody know where the black jobs are? Hello? The black jobs. Yeah.
I'm a little perplexed. I just heard Trump say that they are taking the black jobs. Like, where exactly are the black jobs? Are the black jobs in the room with us now? I mean, how do you get one? Is there a listing? How do we apply? I mean, like...
Now Trump is turning to migrants because we have a farm labor shortage. Now, this is incredibly confusing to me. I thought they said that Americans wanted and needed those jobs. And somehow at the same time that they took our jobs, they were also totally lazy drains on society who did not work and only took our taxpayer dollars. They also told us that 95% of the people they deported were violent criminals and did no good for our society. But now that those lazy violent criminals who did not work but also took our jobs have been deported, we are having a farm labor shortage. So something just doesn't make much sense to me about this. Still no new arrests since the partial release of the files, by the way, and they still haven't released about half of it and have been caught red-handed hiding some very nasty documents, so.
Racism is very expensive, and it rarely ever benefits anyone in the nation to enact racist policies, racist laws, or operate from a racist point of view. The Trump administration is currently looking to address the farm worker shortage in America by allowing farmers to bring back migrant workers. You heard that correctly. The same migrant workers that the Trump administration were harassing, rounding up, putting in detention centers, and going and raiding farms last year. Well, he says that we need to bring them back. It's almost as if they were functioning members of society that were contributing to the overall sustainability, economy, and access to this country. This is happening because Donald Trump's administration, they said that if we deport all migrant workers, there will be more jobs for Americans. The job market will be 100% American, and people will have higher wages. What has happened? Most Americans do not want to work on farms, especially young ones, and that's always been the case for this country. And those farmers who are here are old, and a lot of other people are just too scared to go to work. So they are augmenting their visa programs with the H-2A visa program. This is so crazy for several reasons. It's because this was always what migrant workers did. The farmers, those people who worked, they paid taxes. They never even receive benefits from the taxes they paid into the economy. And they allowed people to have access to fresh foods and access to goods in this country. Now the administration quietly is admitting that they're wrong. They'll never make a public declaration of this, but this is why we say racism is expensive. Happy Sunday.
Well, Donald Trump is trying to get those immigrants to come back to the United States. You know all those farm workers that he's been deporting? Apparently it caused a labor shortage because we can't get enough Americans to get off their lazy ass to go out in the field and pick those veggies. So he changed the rules, according to the New York Times, and is offering temporary visas for those farm workers to come back and work. But they only have to pay them as low as $1 an hour in some states. And part of their compensation can be room and board. And he's offering it for those that has maids too. They can literally have people working in their field and in their house, and their whole compensation is giving them a place to sleep and some food. Kind of weird, ain't it? It's such a bad thing that the farm workers of America are suing his ass because they're saying that it's going to cut into their salary. And those are American people, actually, that runs farming equipment and stuff for farmers that aren't lazy. Does that sound like a fucking deal?
Hello and good evening. Listen, in this evening's episode of As the White Hood Turns, let's go back a little bit, okay? So, we remember the farmers have all been complaining that they've lost their help. A lot of the migrants have either left, been deported, they ain't had no help. Y'all remember last year I told y'all about I dug my keys into the side of his pretty little souped up four-wheel drive. Remember I told y'all about her, how she was crying because she ain't had nobody to help her with that farm because her workers had either left or had been deported, right? But that's not what I want to talk about. Did y'all know that Sid is actively trying to get migrants to come back? Did you know that? He is now offering something called a 2A visa. I don't know what that is. I got to go do some research. But I really just wanted to come on here and laugh because I know you fucking lying. I know you lying. Like you deported these people. You have sent people to death camps. You rounded up migrants and sent them to prison in foreign countries. And now you're out here talking about you're going to give them some kind of special visa to come back and work on the farms? When I tell you, I don't understand. I really don't understand. And I promise you, this has got to be the most ludicrous thing that I ever heard in my whole entire life. So, I want to know, are you going to bring them back from Honduras? Are you going to bring them back from El Salvador? What are we doing? Where are you going to get them from? And on top of that, where are you going to find migrants who are going to be willing and believe you that you're going to give them some kind of path to citizenship if they take you up on this offer? Who is going to do that? The fuck? Clearly, all of that, migrants are taking our jobs. And now you're literally trying to create a program to bring migrants back or to entice migrants to come here with some kind of special visa. Bitch, what? That's it. That's it. That's all I got. I just want us to think about that for the night, sleep on it, and we can discuss it tomorrow because, okay, that's it. That's it. That's all I got. Y'all have a good evening. Okay. Woo. Okay, bye.
Oh, dudes, you cannot make this up. You cannot make this up. Demented Donnie has done one of the most ridiculous things ever. So, he used ICE to deport, millions of undocumented workers, and now there's a huge shortage of farm workers. So now the Trump administration wants to negotiate and create a visa for undocumented workers who want to work on farms to come back to work. Okay, think you can't make this up. So it's like they did all those raids and caused all that trouble and deported, thousands of undocumented workers, and now the Trump administration is offering to bring them back into the country under a special visa program so they can work on farms again because there's a shortage of farm workers. All this created by Trump. And we all told you so. We all told you this was going to happen. He was going to deport these people. He was going to create a shortage and wreak havoc on the farming system, which he did. And now the farming system needs help or we're doomed. And so he's going to let the undocumented workers come back. Oh my God.
I done told y'all ashy ass that Abigail and them was coming for your jobs. Trump said they're coming for your black jobs, and he's absolutely right. Now she fixing to slap a 3.5 retail tax on Uber Eats and hot food. I don't know about y'all, but I have already deleted these apps because they're highway robbery. No more Uber Eats, DoorDash, Walmart delivery, none of them. I don't give a damn. He's even going to take y'all Amazon delivery jobs by raising taxes on these people. Well, yeah, good luck with that. Now y'all gotta go try to find a job and try to get it back from these AI bots. Oh, baby, y'all think y'all got a high-ass light bill now? Wait till they get done building these tech centers. Your light bill really gonna be high. Coming for y'all black jobs, like Donald Trump said, period. And that's what y'all voted for. Now, imagine using ChatGPT to think for you, to be creative, to come up with all types of answers for you, and it end up replacing you. That's why I don't use that shit. I'm sorry, but I have a brain with cells that work and not just a cell phone.
To all the Trumpers, I just got a question. I know niggas don't want to talk politics, but
Man,
it's
bring it
cool.
up.
Y'all didn't get a wall. You didn't get the swamp drained.
Man.
You didn't get affordable health care. You didn't get eliminated national debt. You didn't get a new infrastructure. You didn't get Hillary Clinton locked up. You didn't get Epstein accountability. You didn't get a 5K Doge check. You didn't get the 2K stimulus check.
Man.
You didn't get lower grocery prices. You didn't get help buying a home or affordable home prices. They're going up. You did not get America first, and you did not get peace. We at war right now. What the fuck did you get? What did all y'all get? Mr. I'm finna save America. And all, what did y'all get? Y'all didn't get shit.
Higher groceries.
Higher groceries. He said the groceries was going down. He said the homes were going to be more affordable. Then he turned around and said, oh, you're too lazy to own a home. You don't deserve one. We finna jack the prices up some more.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous at this point. It's crazy. I just don't, man, listen.
Trump.
I just be over talking about it because people
Yeah.
so dumb. I'm literally debating regular working class people that's barely getting by saying it's a great thing the billionaires don't get taxed. They're supplying jobs for people.
It's so crazy because it's okay to be wrong and say you made a wrong decision. People are so dumb and so crazy and ignorant that what you're saying right now, all this shit has gone wrong, and they're still standing behind this dude and saying, yeah, we made the right decision. It's okay to say we made the wrong decision. I think a lot of people, again, they felt it was the lesser of two evils, but we came up here and said, I said Elon Musk is not who he claims to be. Trump is not. These people are not going to save you. Like we always say, it's two birds, or it's on the same coin, right? They're a part of the same infrastructure. Their goal is the same. So thinking that he was going to do anything different, he didn't. He covered up for Epstein. He went over and invaded Iran. He did the Venezuela shit. He hasn't done anything really but wreak havoc and put America in a state of stress since he's came into office. And we're only a year and a half in?
They just knocked Cuba power out. They talking about Cuba's next. So we're going to have another enemy, which ain't doing shit to us. They just keep telling y'all these people is out to, man, I never even met nobody from Iran. The fuck is you talking about?
The only thing that is advanced is the military-industrial complex. That's it. The only thing that's advanced is the weapons that we have, that we're able to go, these kill switches that we got when we went to Venezuela and we're able to turn off everything, right? When we go into certain places, we're able to see through walls and track movement. That's what we're investing in. That's where American citizen taxpayer dollars are going to. If we're being honest, it's not going towards the roads. It's not going towards cheaper food prices. He's not changing anything besides us being more of a superpower. And even that is starting to backfire. Because I don't know if y'all just seen him talking about he wants to exit out of NATO. He don't want to be in NATO.
We have an agriculture labor shortage, but don't you worry. President Trump has a solution. New reports are indicating that the Trump administration is considering expanding migrant farm worker programs. And this comes after ICE aggressively detained and deported a lot of farm workers. And even though these Mexicans were stealing their jobs, nobody's stepping up to take these jobs. Now we have an agriculture labor shortage. Kind of like the Bracero program repeating itself all over again. Now, this discussion surfaced during policy meetings in Washington, D.C., and that's where federal officials and agriculture leaders warned that farms across the country are struggling to find workers, in particular for planting and harvesting. Shocker, right? And right now, 4 states are feeling the shortage: California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. So like the Bracero program, where the United States government went into Mexico to seek workers, the Trump administration is thinking of doing the same thing with H-2A visas. Now, while many people are like, well, that's a legal way to do it, you forget that ICE was still detaining and deporting people who were here legally with legal, legit visas, which the H-2A is a visa. And they were also deporting people with H-2A visas and just canceling their visas because they felt like it. I think Trump's friends, who are all farm owners, began complaining to Trump about their shortage because nobody is going to work these really hard jobs. And if they do, they're not fast, accurate, and motivated the way the people that got deported were. Ironic, isn't it? But it's like we warned everybody this was going to happen. We saw this happen back in the 1920s with the Mexican Reparation Act, and then with Operation BACK. And each time they had to go get people from Mexico to come back into the United States to work because Americans weren't doing that job, even though, Mexicans were stealing their jobs. But let me know what you think in the comments below.
Hi, we have news. Trump is looking to recruit immigrant farm workers because we have a shortage of workers on farms. So yes, he's looking to, yes, I can't make this up. This is really real life. Apparently they deported so many farm workers that they're now reaching out to migrant farm workers.
What? We have some big news right now. The Trump administration is now turning to migrant farm workers to address farm labor shortages, according to the New York Times. No, I'm not making this up. After conducting mass deportation of said migrant farm workers at the beginning of his second term, they're now trying to get them back, essentially. So the Trump administration is now turning to an alternative source, making it cheaper for farmers to hire immigrant farm workers on temporary visas. These changes specifically impact the H-2A visa program. And under the new changes, the Trump administration, has now adjusted how wages paid to H-2A farm workers are calculated, essentially lowering the hourly rates anywhere from $1 to $7 in some states. And farm owners can now include housing as part of the compensation package provided to guest farm workers. They're reducing wages of farm workers in an effort to try to hire more migrant farm workers. That's brought a lawsuit from the Farm Workers of America saying that essentially it adversely harms American farm workers by lowering their wages or pushing them out of the labor pool entirely.
That's called sharecropping. If y'all don't know what sharecropping is, sharecropping was a post-Civil War agricultural system in the U.S. South where landowners allowed tenants, primarily former enslaved black people and poor whites, to use land in exchange for a share of the crops produced. It replaced slavery but trapped many in a cycle of poverty and debt slavery. The arrangement, landowners provided land, housing, tools, seed, and supplies while tenants provided the labor. Tenants often had to purchase necessities like food and clothing on credit from the landowner at a high interest rates, using their future crops as collateral. Slavery under another name. High interest rates and low crop prices often meant workers never cleared their debt, forcing them to remain on the land year after year. It's an old playbook, but they revamped it and changed some of the characters. You did this whole thing, mass deporting all of these migrant workers. So now they don't want to go to work because they're afraid that if they go to work, here comes your Gestapo. Now you're telling them, those who have left, come back under this visa. We gonna pay you $1 to $7 below the minimum, below the minimum wage in America. The farmers get to pay you between $1 and $7 a fucking hour, and they may or may not give you housing. But I'm sure if they give you housing, they're gonna take that off of your pay. Sharecropping. Food? You need food? No problem. We'll give you $50 to go get groceries, but you gotta work 100 hours to pay us back. This is the same fucking shit. Oh my God. When will you guys listen to black people? When will you study what black people have been studying? We know the colonizers. They're using the same playbook. They're changing the characters, changing up the wording, but it's the same shit they've been doing to black people forever in this country. And for some reason, y'all just won't listen to black people. This is the same thing. This is called sharecropping. Wow.
Trump basically tells Fox News that he regrets busting down on the immigrants and sending them back home because his farmers now need help. And all I can say is I knew he was going to regret this shit because there's no person really working harder than an immigrant due to the simple fact that they're on a mission. They're on a mission. They come to this country just to work. Immigrant is probably the hardest working person you know. Hands down. No ifs or buts about it. And it's just like they was not bothering you. I knew in the end time you were going to need these people to take care of life in America. If you really think about it, who are building these bridges that we drive on? Immigrants. Who are building these houses? Immigrants. Who are cutting the grass? Immigrants. So now that your farmers are in need, you want to double down and say, oh, we're going to bring back the immigrants and make sure they come legally. It's not easy to get rid of them. Well, you try to challenge the situation and it backfired on your ass. Don't bring them back now. You broke up happy homes because you hated immigrants. But now that you're in need and you thought the black people was going to enslave and help your farmers, which they're not. This is not back in the day. They barely want to fucking work. Don't bring the immigrants back now.
Trump expected black people to fill in those positions that the illegal immigrants or the immigrants were doing in the fields. I can tell you, Mr. President, that is not fucking happening. We are not going back in the field. You could get that out your mind. You and all your Republican buddies, it's not happening. So you need to come up with a better solution for your shortage of staff. You can't pay us enough. We've been there. We've done that. Not happening. You need to figure out how to work out a path to citizenship for all these hardworking immigrants that do want to work in this country. Because there are lots of people that come into this country that honestly want to work. Not all immigrants that's here, whether they're here legal or illegally, want to commit crime or do commit crime. Statistically proven, you have more homegrown assault on this country than anything else. mass shooting for one. You understand? So you need to figure out something. But black people, we're not the solution to that. We're not going back. And I believe if for some reason that was ever attempted, you're going to have a fight on your hands. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, man.
The United States needs more immigrants. This is according to Brooke Rollins, the Secretary of Agriculture. Now, a New York Times article covers all of the changes that have occurred under Brooke Rollins' leadership, including allowing farmers to pay H-2A visa applicants up to $7 an hour less than they were previously receiving, and have their housing and any food be deducted from their pay, which is something they weren't allowed to do prior. Now, the U.S. Department of Agriculture has made all of those things legal and feasible for farmers in an attempt to allow them to bring in more H-2A applicants. Multiple studies have shown that Donald Trump's promise that 100% of farm workers would be U.S. citizens, well, it's not happening. In fact, according to the Department of Agriculture's own data, over 400,000 job postings for seasonal and full-time farm work were posted last year in Donald Trump's first full year as president. And, well, only 182 of those positions were filled by U.S. citizens. So, the majority of farm work goes to migrants. And even in the undocumented migrant world, the majority of the workers in the fields are not undocumented. Undocumented farm workers, according to the New York Times, make up a minuscule portion of the farm workers that are out there. But because of Donald Trump's immigration raids, farms across California that are reliant on these farm workers full-time on H-2A visas to help their farms run, they've seen that about 20% of their staff on any given day does not show up because of fears about immigration raids. Even though they're in the country legally, they've seen their friends, their families, and their coworkers disappear. So Brooke Rollins says that this will all help farmers. This will be an economic boon to them. This will allow them to get rid of one of the largest costs that they have, which is manpower, and it will allow them to put more money in their pockets while stripping money from the people actually in the fields, actually doing the work.
A lot of y'all thought that it was a good thing when Trump said Hispanics are taking black jobs, but the reality is what he really meant is black folks are taking white jobs. And him and his two young white men that he replaced those black folks with are showing you in this press conference. Watch this.
It'd be very good for certain jobs, but not people that should be doing this particular job.
That's why I'm trying to figure out how you can come to the conclusion right now that diversity had something to do with this crash.
Because I have common sense, okay? And unfortunately, a lot of people don't. We want brilliant people doing this. This is a major chess game at the highest level.
We want to hire the best people because we want the best people at air traffic control, and we want to make sure we have enough people at air traffic control who are actually competent to do the job. If you go back to just some of the headlines over the past 10 years, you have many hundreds of people suing the government because they would like to be air traffic controllers, but they were turned away because of the color of their skin. That policy ends under Donald Trump's leadership.
We will have the best and brightest in every position possible. As you said in your inaugural, it is colorblind and merit-based.
Now, the Secretary of Defense earlier today got to show up at the DOD looking like this, talking to the American people about the situation.
It was a fairly experienced crew, and that was doing a required annual night evaluation. They did have night vision goggles.
And he replaced this black man whose resume was this long. And by the way, these are his qualifications in comparison. It's never been about qualifications or experience. It's always been about race and class. And America has always been some form of a job farm or a plantation. And what you see here is they're trying to set things in the order that they desire it to be in. Deport the brown, replace them with the blacks, and elevate the whites back to their rightful place as they see it. The press secretary is 27, the vice president is 40, and the secretary of defense is 44. It's not about experience. It's not about qualifications. It's about whiteness. 73% of air traffic controllers are white, 15% are Hispanic, 9% are black. So how is DEI the problem if 73% of the people doing the job are white? Now maybe the rest of you can see what some of us have been trying to tell you all along.
Why, oh why do poor white people vote against themselves time and time again? They vote for Trump and the other MAGA politicians only to have every promise broken, prices go up, social supports evaporate. Here's why. First, remember what I talked about recently, the psychological wage of whiteness. That term was coined by W.E. Du Bois to describe poor white folks being paid with social status rather than decent living conditions. They're convinced by the elites that they're better than black folks, better than immigrants, Latinos, LGBTQ folks. They're convinced that being white puts them in the same league as the elites. Of course, the elites know otherwise, but the poor whites buy it because they're grasping at straws. Second, they are convinced that the people they're supposedly better than are the big threat in their lives. Not the rich, not the corporations or the politicians, but immigrants, black folks, welfare queens, LGBTQ, criminals, you know, the usual scapegoats. Third, the elites promise protection to poor white folks. A politician comes along and says, I'll keep those people in their place, or I'll kick them out, or I'll lock them up. Or, more politely, I'll defend your values. They don't say, I'll make your life better. Well, they say it, they just don't mean it. They'll say, I'll make sure they don't get ahead of you. Fourth, they vote for the punishment, not the policy. When a law gets passed that slashes public housing or school funding or food aid, they think, good, that'll stop those lazy freeloaders. And they do some mental gymnastics that make them believe it's worth losing those things for their own families in order to see those problematic black people and immigrants and so forth being punished. It gets to a point where just seeing those guys being punished is reward enough, which is pretty sick, but that's how behavior works. Their housing, schools, and groceries are on the chopping block too, but they blame that on Biden. Always a scapegoat. They get hit by the same policies they were told would punish the others, and they blame the wrong people. The system fails them, but they've been trained to blame the scapegoats, not the cause, which is the rich people, the people they voted for. So they think the problem is still those people, not the fact that they were personally manipulated by the people they voted for. They're basically saying, I'll take the hit as long as you don't help them, or worse, as long as you hurt them. That is the psychological wage Du Bois was talking about, the trade-off between material security for racial status. And that's a crying shame, folks. One share, like, save, and comment shows that you care about white people taking responsibility for racism in America. This work is important to me, and I want to keep doing it. If you want to support me, consider a donation of any size to coffee.com/Kelly Snyder. And yeah, spelling is important. Get curious.
Anyways, guys, that's all I got for this video. What is holding my tripod not to stand there? Come on, get out of here. Guys, that's all I got for this video. They are taking the black jobs. Oh, black people are supposed to be in the feed. Yes, after all, they have histories, like I said, from the first onset of picking curtains, right? Black people are supposed to be, why am I saying black people? If I say black people, I'm generalizing a lot of people. Black Americans specifically are supposed to be helping the farmers out. Remember, let's remember that these farmers were literally the ones that voted this man in. They never knew that they were voting something that will literally takes a lot from them. Right now, they have taken the black jobs. Right now, they want to bring back immigrants. They want to bring back immigrants. They want to bring back immigrants. Don't get me wrong, I am not a fancy of illegal immigrants. I don't care. Deport them if you so wish. But the way these people went about it, and why I was a bit happy about this immigrants deportation was because most of the people that were also deported were among the people that actually voted for this administration to be where they are today. That was why I was happy. But later do this man know that this thing that he actually started is not going to only rub him off, it's going to be like a major turn down. You know, when he started imputing all his tariffs and a lot of countries started cutting off their deals, China went off, Canada, all those countries, he never knew that something was literally going to affect him. There was a time that some of these farmers came out to beg him to give them funds, to beg him to give them funds to impute in their business. Because why? Tomatoes are perishing. Nobody want to go to the farm. You know, the immigrants that were literally sent out were those ones that will work how many hours? Maybe probably 1 hour with just $10. Do you get? But they were doing it because at the end of the day, they just want to meet an ends meet. And at the end of the day, they needed a greener pasture. Forgetting that black Americans built America, they live in America. So no matter how hard you think life is going to be, they cannot stoop so low to start going to pick tomatoes. They cannot stoop so low to start going to pick berries. They cannot stoop so low to start going to farm just because they want to make the white class be all of that vulnerable, or all of that high class. So now they are coming to the realization that at the end of the day, this is it. Now, the US president, he wants immigrants back. Trump administration turned to immigrant workers to help farmers' labor shortage. And this is coming directly from the New York Times, right? Trump's team wants to make it easier for migrants to work on US farm after targeting them in deportation. The Trump administration has quietly admitted in recent months its immigration crackdown was helping spark a farm labor shortage. A farm labor shortage. I was thinking I will have people that will go and do this job. I was thinking that the white folks can actually look at themselves and move straight and do it. So the job was not all that easy. The job was not all that as simple as it is. Right now, we are coming to that realization that this orange man now need immigrants to come and farm. Honestly, if I'm some of these immigrants, I will not go. If I'm some of these immigrants, I'd rather remain in my country. Let that hunger that want to finish me, than for me to look myself from head to toe and go back. But you know, a lot of them will go back now. After all, we still even have some Somalians that at the end of the day, they still need. So Somalians' deportation will now be reduced. Do you get? This is just karma in its form. This is FAFO in its form. This is when you stay, you will just want to make a decision without considering anybody, without thinking of the repercussion, without thinking of the disadvantage or the advantage. This is literally what is going to happen. But anyways, you guys, let me know what you think in the comment section, and credits belong to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. And yes, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys. Mwah.